Wait, ke na le ipotsa ne mo lifeng bo guys le bo girls le bo batho nje fela ba dutseng mo strateng e spoiling yourselves nka re le green laurel tree ele ba ngotseng ka yona ko bebeleng le mamelang. Kopa le ipotseng, ask yourselves one tiny little thing, just one thing. Hore dintshang mo strateng modimo a tlorisa apo batho ba bangatanyana ba bangatangata ga kana jana mo Africa, and I will speak in particular to my country, South Africa. Okay. But never mind so heavily spiritually gifted, mara ba fiwa di prophecy tle tse ding tsa go ba very belangrik. Mara le redutse di fubeng. Nna ke ipotsa ntate ole abuti ole kana le nna grandshap, he's my peer. He would have been in high school at the same time as me, maybe like matric, right, when I was in grade 10. His name is Joshua. There is a guy in this country by the name of Joshua Mhlake. I don't know his name. Kopa le ntshwareleng for ignorance akere ba o se le bo abuti mamelang mo lifeng. Joshua first time gona go utlwa ka yena ngwana batho was from an American channel called God's Voice Daily. Yeah, Vlad. A guy in the US by the name of Vlad actually featured a guy called Joshua. And then there is another dude by the name of Ellen. And an African dude, but he stays in Canada, right, at present. And this guy was, again, on Vlad's God's Voice Daily channel. And only once being on Vlad's channel was he then proliferated. Do you understand? Until he found himself on Ezekiel's channel, another American, and it's the only reason why at all it is the only reason why we are now hearkening to them. It is because there is a severity of abuse and persecution in Africa by Africans and by the abuse of social media platforms in Africa that have got basically like head offices in Africa. They are trying to squelch, block, thwart the gospel. Even after Donald Trump signed an executive order that no longer are you allowed to persecute people, at least on our platforms, our American platforms based on religion. And yet African voices are struggling to speak because in Africa there's so much hatred of proliferation of Christians on platforms that unless we go and cover steering, say the American, unless we cover steering is God's Voice Daily sa Vlad or sa Ezekiel or whoever in the US, because African megalomaniacal bosses who want to run the continent on the fever of Zol, on the fever of Ipachi, on the fever of hallucinogens of occult magic, are trying to thwart the gospel in Africa because of how heavily called Africans are. And you think that this is not time for us to leave Rapture.